Special Envoy, this is your first trip, your first official trip, and you've chosen the Middle East. How open are people to the discussion of anti-Semitism here?
I've been amazed. I chose this trip, I chose this region to come. I was in Saudi Arabia, then I was in Israel, and now I'm here, which geographically makes no sense. But that's the way it worked out, because I see my job as the Special Envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism, a job that has been elevated to an ambassadorial level, which is the highest level in the State Department, as having two prongs. One prong is to fight anti-Semitism, to put out fires, to go to places where there is anti-Semitism. My country is not perfect, but we're very concerned also about what goes on here. The other prong is to build, and that's especially possible, to build better relations, to help eradicate old hatreds, and that's something that is possible here in the Gulf.
Here in the UAE, textbooks have been adapted leading up to the Year of Tolerance. Jews are spoken of as an integral part of the Middle East. What's it like in the rest of the region?
Well, I've just been here, and I've been in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I hope to get to Bahrain. I hope to get to Morocco, other places. But even the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which isn't part of, as of the moment, isn't part of the Abraham Accords, and I have no idea when or if and when that will happen. But even there, they're seriously addressing what's in the textbooks. Maybe they've been influenced by what's happened here in the UAE. I don't know, but if you don't change the textbooks, you'll never, because that's where the kids learn. But it can't. The textbooks are not enough. You've got to change the culture around the textbooks.
And how do you do that?
Well, the way the teachers teach it, the way the parents address it in the homes. So it's got to be a organic, all-encompassing effort. In other words, you can't say, oh, we just changed the textbooks and enough, we're finished with that.
How much have the Abraham Accords contributed to this conversation?
I think the Abraham Accords have been I don't know if one can say revolutionary, but they have changed, they have fundamentally transformed the conversation. Much was going on before the Abraham Accords. The Abrahams didn't come ex nihilo, out of nothing. Especially here in the UAE, there have been business, there have been exchanges with Israelis. Israelis were coming here, maybe not directly from Tel Aviv. They had to fly through someplace else, and maybe on a different passport and quietly. But roots, the foundation was being laid.
You just arrived to the UAE, you landed a few hours ago. Can you share your objectives here in the country? Share a little bit about what you'll be doing for the next few days.
Well, I hope to be having serious conversations with government officials, with educators. The UAE has made tremendous strides, but how can we go further? How can we work together? How can the United States, Israel, and the UAE work together to combat, to promote better relations, to promote an understanding of Jews in the region, to promote an understanding of the dangers of anti-Semitism? Because people who worry about what's called today Islamophobia and attacks on and discrimination against Muslims, the process, the two aren't the same, but the process in which the hatred evolves is the same. The more we can build on what is already happening here, the more we can take what is happening here and probably use it as a model for other countries, the better it will be. So I'm looking forward to very productive discussions. I'm looking forward to learning and to listening, as well as to sharing my ideas.
Special Envoy, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.